So, good evening. Here we are, our latest Facebook Live. Here we are, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Every week, hopefully you're joining us for one of our beers to sample and tell you all our latest news, what's happening. So, hopefully hear from one or two of you. So, our beer this week has started to get a little bit colder today. So, a beer to warm us up a little bit. Okay, a little bit special beer. They're Chilli Porter, beer number 14. Now, this is a beer that is a little bit of a Marmite beer. It's not to everyone's taste, but those people who like it seem to absolutely love it. So, as I say, it's a little bit of a warming up beer as it's getting a little bit cooler. Now, 5.9% porter, and the glass today, I thought with the chili, a little bit of a bite there. Small glass. Norwich Beer Festival, again, one of my favourite beer festivals, Norwich Beer Festival, October of each year. And Norwich, if you've not visited the city of Norwich, an absolutely wonderful place to have a beer, absolutely full of fantastic pubs. Pubs that that's just knowing the pubs, each of them seem to have sort of 6 or more fantastic beers on. So if you get the chance to go to Norwich, go to try some of their pubs. Plasters Arms, King's Head, Ribs of Beef. Oh, there's loads of them. It's difficult to name them all. And the beer festival in autumn there, October time, end of October. Fantastic beer festival as well. So let's get our Chilli Porter opened up. So Chilli Porter, say 5.9%. So it's a dark beer, being a porter, and as you know, perhaps the story of the porter, where you get the porter name from, is this was beer that was drunk by the market porters in London. So this story goes many years ago, and it was named after them. And from porter, then later came from stout as well. So stout, not an Irish drink, actually developed in London. So let's just see, so we can see the dragon on there. So let's see the dragon. Can we see the dragon? There it is. Okay, so you see nice dark beer, nice whitish head, sort of porter-ish head. So if you had a stout, you'd perhaps have a little bit more colour in that head. But you can see that head is still fairly white. With stout, it's a little bit darker. You tend to have that a little bit more darkness in that head there. Now, with being a porter, you get that dark colour, similar to our stouts, from the roasted malts. So remember, we looked at Woody's Bark a few weeks ago, and the Woody's Bark, you remember that uses the roasted malts. They've been roasted, sort of chocolatey malt, it's called. It gives that chocolate and coffee flavours. Now, we brew a beer called Chapel Street Porter, which we haven't tried yet. We'll do that in another Facebook Live, and we'll talk all about that. And what to do with the Chapel Street Porter is we add chilli to this. Now, I've had chilli beers before, and I've not always been keen, because they're actually a struggle to drink, because they just go the heat and nothing else, and it's really difficult to get through them because they're so hot. It's not an enjoyable experience. So we decided to go more for the flavour of the chilli rather than the heat. So you drink this, and there we've got just a little hint of chilli there. It's not a massive amount of chilli, it's the flavour of the chilli, and it goes really well with chocolate. I don't know if you've ever had chilli chocolate, bars of chilli chocolate. Chilli and chocolate, a fantastic combination of flavours. And that chilli so soon go. Now, I didn't get very straight first of all, but now I get this real warmth in my mouth from there. And so what we actually do to create the Chilli Porter is we actually add the chillies into the cask. So they actually go into the cask, and we typically leave them there a week or two, so all that chilli flavour can infuse into there. And then when we get the bottles, okay, we bottle that after it's been in there a couple of weeks. So you get that nice tingle of the chilli, but without it burning your mouth out. So you can easily get through a pint of this. 5.9% though, so that's why I'm making a smaller portion of it. So, and it's fairly early in the evening. I might finish off the rest of it tomorrow night, or I might just put the top back on there. What you can do with these bottles, you put your crown back on there, give it a good old bang, and that will seal it up. And a strong beer like that, 5.9%, that will still be absolutely fine tomorrow night if you drink it. So that's what I might do. See how the evening goes. If I have the rest of that later. Anyway, so I say that that chili gives it a nice warmth without burning your mouth out. I really enjoy this beer in winters on a really cold night by the fire. It's a lovely warming drink to have there. We tried it out. I mean, it's funny how these beers come out. We tried it at a beer festival and we thought, would it work chili in a beer? We'll give it a go. We just tried one cask, we touched some chilies in it and tried it on the bar, and people absolutely loved it. Really did. For a beer at the festival, a lot of people thought, and it just worked fantastically well. So it's just become a regular beer since, and we went on to bottle it as well. Now, when we have it in the bar, the thing that actually a lot of people like is the chilies go into the cask and they stay in the cask. Okay, so what happens when we first put a cask of Chilli Porter on, it's like this. It's got a nice tingle to it, but doesn't burn your mouth out or anything. But then, as people drink the cask, and typically a cask of Chilli Porter tends to be on the bar for about 4 or 5 days, and with it being 5.9%, it will keep really well at 5.9%, and then actually the chili itself helps it keep as well. So, but what happens is as people drink a few pints of it, well, of course, the chili stays in there, and it ends up getting more and more concentrated. So what starts off as a nice tingle, when you get towards the end, where there's only a few pints left in that cask, that can be pretty hot as well. So a lot of people like it. They'll come in one day, and then they'll come in each day just to see how that flavour has changed. So that's where we get our Chilli Porter from. Okay, so yeah, lovely warm drink, and yeah, 5.9%. It doesn't taste that. It just does go down far too well. Okay, so we're still busy brewing. We actually brewed twice last week. With the demand, you've been fantastic in buying our bottles and buying our polypins that we actually brewed twice last week, keeping Rick very busy last week, and him and Seb have been bottling away busily this week. We've got Rhythm Stick and Billericay Dicky both brewed, so they should be ready for you next week. We're brewing Billericay Blonde again this week, and the beer that's going to be ready this week, and I'll talk about it probably in a couple of weeks' time, we've got My Old Man, which is a real traditional bitter that I know my dad would have loved, and we've done that just for Father's Day, so we'll drink that probably in a couple of weeks' time, so just before Father's Day, so that's something to look forward to. Now we're gearing up for Father's Day now, which is really a most popular time of the year for us. Normally on Father's Day we do lots of brewery tours. Unfortunately, sadly, of course, we can't do those this year, but we're going to get lots of gift packs out, and if you get your order in nice and early, then I'll even deliver your beer to your favourite dad on Father's Day morning, as long as it's in Billericay. We'll just within the Billericay area only. We'll be delivering on Father's Day morning, so you can get your beer to your wonderful dad on that day. So that's something to look forward to. Other thing we're doing as well, with the slight easing of lockdown guidelines now, we, as well as our delivery service, and we prefer you still to use the delivery service, that's going to keep on running, but I know some people find it difficult. I mean, now particularly people going back to work, sometimes they're not always there to accept their delivery or outside our delivery area. We're actually doing an order and collect service now, so you can't just turn up at the shop and buy. You have to order in advance. You can order online, you can phone us up, you can send us an email, we'll arrange payment, and then we'll have your beer ready. We'll give you a collection slot, we'll agree a collection slot with you, and then you can just come and collect your beer. It'll be all ready for you. And just so long as we make sure we keep all our social distancing, there's still threat level 4 at the moment, so alert level 4, so we still have to be careful. The pandemic hasn't gone, it's still out there, so safety of you, safety of our staff, safety of everyone, health and safety of everyone, that's our priority. So it'll be just one. If you do come to the shop, keep out of the brewery, don't go into the brewery, one person at a time into the shop, and obviously keep your distance as well. Okay, so yeah, that's an alternative and another way of getting your beer to you, and to say, particularly Father's Day coming up, if you want to get your presents into your ready for your dad, then we'll do those gift packs. We do dozen bottles is very popular. We also do a 6-pack, we do a 3-pack, do lots of other gifts as well. But if you really want to splash out on your dad, we do a beer club as well, so you can give a dozen bottles of beer or 6 bottles of beer to your dad every single month for a year, and that makes a real extra special gift for them. And also, you can always buy a brewery tour or one of our Brewer for the Day experiences. You can buy a voucher for that, and then we're back up and running. We'll honour that voucher. We normally have a 6-month on that, but we'll do it for whenever we actually can reopen and start running those events. So that's lots of things going on, and getting beer to you still, and great for your support. And so thanks again for your brilliant support. We really, really appreciate that. We've been overwhelmed by the support we've got from you, and we hope to continue giving you beer to you. So, as I say, stay safe, stay at home when you can, and drink your beer at home. Chilli Porter, bit of a Marmite beer. I love it, lots of fans of it, okay? Worthwhile trying, so hope you try it one day. We've got bottles of it, we can even do some polypins of it. So, cheers, enjoy your beer.